Welcome back. Thanks very much for staying with us. You're watching World DNA with me, Raisha Sehgal. There's lots lined up on the show today, but first a quick check on the headlines. Nationwide strikes, demonstrations and candlelight marches in India continue over Kolkata trainee doctor rape and murder case. Former principal of RJ-Kar Hospital, Sandeep Ghosh, summoned by CBI again on Sunday. Ghosh to appear before the agency at 11 a.m. IST. US bridging proposal designed to enable Gaza ceasefire deal does not provide for ongoing Israeli deployment along the Gaza-Egypt border or a mechanism in central Gaza to prevent Hamas's return, as demanded by Netanyahu. Demonstrators light fire at anti-government demonstrations in Tel Aviv. Warn of regional escalation if no agreement is reached in ceasefire talks. Demonstrators chant deal or escalation. Doha ceasefire talks mediated by the US, Qatar and Egypt set to resume next week. International Atomic Energy Agency Director General Rafael Grossi says safety at Ukraine's Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant is worsening following a drone strike that hit the road around the perimeter on Saturday.
I believe she will be easier to beat than him, because she's a truly radical left lunatic. She's a socialist lunatic. That's the other thing.
Donald Trump refers to Kamala Harris as radical and a lunatic, claims that she will be easier to defeat than Joe Biden, even as some polls show her edging ahead in the November 5th elections. Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado calls for mass gatherings in the country and abroad to intensify pressure on President Nicolas Maduro after disputed re-election victory claim. Social media platform X is shuttering Brazil operations immediately after country's top judge allegedly threatened to arrest the company's legal representative in secret for not complying with orders to shut down certain accounts. Diego Jota and Mohamed Salah scores the goal as Arne Slot's reign as Liverpool manager begins with a victory over newly promoted Ipswich Town at Portman Road.
And Mohamed Salah set to victory. Arne Slot starts with a win. Ipswich with a ballistic lead.
And our top focus on World DNA is from India. Amid uproar over the rape and murder of a trainee doctor in India's West Bengal, the Indian Medical Association, which is the largest organization of medical staff, they have now appealed to Prime Minister Narendra Modi to come up with a central law to check violence against healthcare professionals in India, and also to declare hospitals as safe zones with compulsory security entitlements. Speaking of the doctor who was found dead at the Kolkata-based RJ-Kar Medical Hospital last week, the IMA said, and I'm quoting here, The 36 hours of duty shift that the victim was in and the lack of safe spaces to rest, they warrant a thorough overhaul of the working and living conditions of resident doctors, unquote. Pan-India demonstrations over the doctor's rape and murder that continues. Marches and candlelight vigils are being held across multiple locations in India as a sign of sympathy towards the victim. Taking stock of the situation, the central government has directed all states to submit reports on law and order situation every 2 hours. Kolkata police have limited public gatherings around Arjikar Medical Hospital for a week. The Central Bureau of Investigation has now sped up the probe in the case. The former principal of Arjikar Medical College and Hospital, Dr. Sandeep Ghosh, was questioned for several hours by the central agency yesterday and day before yesterday as well. He is also said to appear again today at 11 a.m. IST. Nursing staff, ward boys and security guards working with the hospital have also been questioned. Meanwhile, the West Bengal Health and Family Welfare Department has withdrawn the transfer order of 42 doctors which they rather earlier said were routine transfers. This after it triggered outrage accusing the government of being vindictive. And well, now shifting our focus to West Asia, with ceasefire talks in Cairo set to resume next week. Israeli negotiators in a meeting with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu have expressed cautious optimism about moving towards a deal which is in accordance with the updated US proposal. Well, as per reports, the proposal does not provide for a mechanism in central Gaza to prevent the return of Hamas's forces or for an ongoing Israeli deployment along the Gaza-Egypt border, as both of these were demanded by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. And only if Netanyahu agrees to these two key issues will Egypt and Qatar press Hamas to take the deal forward. However, US President Joe Biden said on Friday, following 2 days of talks in Doha, that efforts to reach a deal were now in sight. Well, however, Hamas dismissed what it referred to as US President's optimism. A senior official of the Palestinian group said that they were not facing a deal or real negotiations, but the imposition of American diktats. And that's the statement by Hamas. Amid hopes of truce, Israel continues its operation in West Bank. Its defense forces claim to have killed 2 senior Hamas militants in an airstrike on their car in Jenin. It said the militants, Ahmed Abu Ara and Rafid Dawasi, they both were involved in planning a shooting attack last week in West Bank's Jordan Valley, where an Israeli man was earlier killed. Staying on with stories from West Asia. Now, Hezbollah and Israeli forces, the cross-border fire has intensified in the last few days. In the latest spate of fire exchange between the Israeli forces and Hezbollah, an Israeli strike has killed Hezbollah's commander from its elite Radwan force. Qassab was killed in an IDF drone strike in southern Lebanon. Meanwhile, Israeli military released a video showing its strikes over Hezbollah military structures in southern Lebanon. Now, Lebanon's health minister said that an Israeli airstrike in southern Lebanon killed 10 Syrians, including a mother and 2 children. The death toll from the strike in the Wadi al-Kafur area is one of the largest in southern Lebanon since Hezbollah and Israeli forces began exchanging near daily fire. Hezbollah says it has launched a barrage of rockets at northern Israel as a response to the Israeli strike. Israeli military said over 50 rockets were launched from Lebanon's border. IDF says rocket sirens activated in western border communities as well. Air raid sirens have also been activated in Golan due to suspected drone attack. Well, from West Asia, shifting our focus to our continuous coverage of the ongoing Ukraine-Russia war. As Ukraine's incursion into Russia enters its 12th day, the border regions of Kursk that continues to witness destruction and devastation. In the latest, the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant is once again in the eye of the storm. This comes as a drone strike has put the plant's safety in jeopardy. The plant, which is under Russia's management since 2022, said that a Ukrainian drone has attacked the site with a massive payload. According to the International Atomic Energy Agency, they've said that the impact was close to the plant's cooling ponds and around 100 meters from the plant's power line. However, the attack did not result in any casualties or damage in any equipment in the plant. The plant, which has been largely dormant, has seen both Russia and Ukraine blame each other of sabotaging and endangering the safety of the plant. In the midst of all this, a Ukrainian convoy went up in smokes near the border regions of Sumy. Ever since Ukraine made a surprise invasion into Russia, bombardments by drones and missiles have majorly increased in the area, which has basically earlier been quiet and peaceful. Reports now suggest that an Iskander K cruise missile and an aerial bomb was used in the attack. Officials from Ukraine confirmed on Saturday that 2 people have been injured in missile attacks in Sumy. The attack has also damaged cars and buildings. Recently, Ukraine has also held assault drills in the Sumy region, which is near the Russian border. According to Ukrainian instructor, the objective of the drill is to train soldiers to defend themselves from ambushes and attack the enemy. He also added that the Ukrainian commanders have thought out the incursion very well and has caught the Russian forces off guard. Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said that his troops have strengthened their positions and their deployment is only growing stronger in the region.
Today, General Syrskyi also reported on the continuation of our advance in the Kursk region. The operation is proceeding exactly as we planned. The bravery of Ukrainians is achieving great things. We are now strengthening our positions. The bridgehead of our presence is becoming stronger.
So far, Kyiv has claimed to have taken control of 82 settlements over an area of 1,150 square kilometers in the Kursk region since August 6th. The major counter-offensive into Russian region has sent more than 120,000 people fleeing the border region. Moving on, head of Russia's Chechen Republic, Ramzan Kadyrov, has flaunted a Tesla Cybertruck with a machine gun mounted on its back. And he has promised to send the vehicle to the front lines in Ukraine. Kadyrov published a video of himself riding an armed Tesla Cybertruck, thanking Tesla chief Elon Musk. The Chechen leader said that he awaits future Tesla goods that will help finish the special military operation in Ukraine. In May, Kadyrov said that around 43,500 Chechen fighters have served in Ukraine since the beginning of the war. Ramzan Kadyrov hailed Musk as the strongest genius of modern times. He even claimed that the Cybertruck he was riding is rather a gift from Elon Musk himself. Tesla CEO Elon Musk is yet to respond on the matter. Cybertruck is the first pickup truck produced by the electric car manufacturer Tesla, which is famous for its build quality. Even bullets find it hard to penetrate through the flat stainless steel sheet panels of the Cybertruck. With World Health Organization declaring a global public health emergency for mpox. Countries like India, Pakistan and China, they have all now sprung into action to protect their citizens from a possible outbreak. Well, India and China, which house more than one-third of the global population, have decided to conduct a screening procedure at the entry points. India's Health Minister JP Nadda chaired a high-level meeting to review the preparedness of the monkeypox situation in the country. The Health Ministry in India will be preparing 32 testing labs to detect, isolate and manage the mpox cases. On the other hand, the Customs Administration of China has issued a statement saying that it will monitor people and goods entering the country for the next 6 months. People traveling from affected countries who have been in contact with infected people or rather show symptoms have been urged to inform customs about the same. Well, coming to Europe now. The European Centre for Disease Prevention and Control, or ECDC, has increased its risk assessment for mpox from low to moderate. Meanwhile, in Pakistan, after detection of at least 2 cases in the country, health officials in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa are now preparing for more cases. The officials, they have ordered to designate police services hospitals in Peshawar as an isolation facility for the suspected mpox cases in the province. Till now, total 3 mpox cases have been reported in Pakistan. The latest scares triggered after a slew of viral infection in the Democratic Republic of Congo started spreading to neighboring countries. The mpox outbreak has seen around 27,000 cases and more than 1,100 deaths since January 2023. A total of 18 countries around the world now have reported mpox cases, and they are Ivory Coast, Nigeria, Kenya, Rwanda, Uganda. They all have active cases in Africa. Well, Sweden was the first to report a case outside Africa, followed by Pakistan. Fears of an mpox outbreak are also gripping eastern DR Congo, where up to 20 people are walking each day to the hospital to consult the overworked medical teams, thinking that they are ill with possible infection of the disease. As the global scare mounts, the WHO has urged manufacturers to ramp up production of mpox vaccines to rein in the spread. Moreover, the global body has asked countries with mpox stockpiles to donate them to countries with ongoing outbreaks of the disease. Well, London's well-known art gallery and one of its historic buildings, the Somerset House, caught fire on Saturday. The blaze, which was seen on the roof of the structure, was contained by around 125 firefighters. The London Fire Brigade deployed 25 fire engines after fire alarm was raised in the afternoon. They briefed that the fire was located in building's roof space. Building's old design proved challenging for the firefighters to tackle the blaze. However, firefighters later contained the fire and no damage was reported to the arts inside the building. The fire crew stayed at the site overnight to ensure the safety of the building, while an investigation has also been launched to identify the cause of the fire. A former royal palace and now an arts, cultural and entertainment centre, Somerset House dates back to 1547 and is situated on the south side of central London, overlooking River Thames. It houses major artworks of Manet and Cézanne. Now shifting our focus to the world of sports and to football now. Manchester City will begin their quest for an unprecedented fifth straight English Premier League title today. The reigning champions will open their title defence against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Pep Guardiola's side won unprecedented fourth straight league crown last season, while Chelsea finished sixth. Manchester City will be missing star Spanish midfielder Rodri for this opening match. Rodri had only just returned to training after being forced off at half-time during Spain's 2-1 win against England in last month's Euro 2024 final. Guardiola has acknowledged that fitness concerns could pose a challenge on the opening weekend. England trio Phil Foden, John Stones and Kyle Walker are not fully fit after only returning to training in midweek following their holidays. Chelsea will begin a new era under manager Enzo Maresca. The 44-year-old was hired in June after he guided Leicester City to the English Championship title in his first season in charge. Chelsea have gone big again in the transfer window, splashing out $206.50 million on signing players such as winger Pedro Neto, midfielder Kiernan Dewsbury-Halley and Danish goalkeeper Philip Jorgensen. The Italian